3 weeks ago, your lawyer demanded $5.5 million from Mr. Diggs, didn't he?
Got her. Got her.
Mr. Diggs offered me $100,000 to recant my statement.
That is a yes.
That is the only.
Maybe be heard at sidebar, please.
I'm tired of this.
Objection, move this right.
She says she's tired of this. Yeah, I would be tired of it too. You know, imagine how Stefon Diggs feels as she is caught lying so many times throughout this case. But it gets worse. She literally started out her same testimony, kind of not answering questions like she finished off in the last one.
When you told Steph's girlfriend on January 1st, 2026.
I don't understand the question. I'm sorry.
I haven't finished my question. When you told Steph's girlfriend on January 1st, 2026, in a written text message, I didn't say that, you were referring to the statements that were reported in the press that you gave to the Dedham Police Department, correct?
I don't understand your question.
Did you or did you not write those words?
I don't understand your question. Without further explaining.
You can't testify under oath to this jury what you meant by the words you wrote to Steph's girlfriend on January 1st, 2026?
I'm sorry, I don't understand your question without further explaining.
You also asked.
She was coached. She had to be coached up by her attorney that was in the audience. And then she has this long, drawn out testimony where they kind of have a nice back and forth. And she kind of does the same, I can't answer the question, to the point where the judge gets fed up with her.
I'm sorry, and this is on page 113 of Exhibit 3. You will be paying me out for the season and the money you said you would give me for my business. Wasted my fucking time being here because you got a fucking circus going on, right?
Yes.
So when he said he wouldn't be paying you, he was referring to your demand that after you leave your employment on December 2nd, he nonetheless continued to pay you $2,000 a week for the rest of the New England Patriots football season while you were not working for him, right?
That's not how it goes.
Well, how does it go?
You will be paying me out for the season, right?
I was a contracted employee.
It's a yes or no question, ma'am.
I don't know how to answer that question. Sorry.
And before you said that, if you turn just one page back to page 112, what Mr. Diggs said to you that you were responding to was, "I'ma leave you be. Thank you for cooking for me for this season. I appreciate you. Hate it even got to this." That's what you were responding to when you told him he would be paying you out for the season, right?
No, it's a full context of those messages.
Ma'am, was the message that came from Mr. Diggs that preceded your demand that you be paid out for the season, "Thank you for cooking for me this season. I appreciate you. I'ma leave you be."
Can you say that again?
You can look right down there on page 112. "I'ma leave you be."
What was your question?
I'm not finished. "Thank you for cooking for me for this season." You can read along and correct me if I get it wrong.
She getting
"I
snippy.
appreciate you. Hate it even got like this." Right?
That's what it says, yes.
Okay. And you were really hoping that Mr. Diggs would give you some money so you could open your own restaurant, weren't you?
Yes.
That was our agreement.
That was what you wanted him to give you, right?
That was an agreement.
Where?
Ma'am, is this a contract suit?
Oh my God.
Objection.
This is an assault.
That objection is sustained. Witness doesn't have to answer.
Withdrawn, Your Honor. Thank you.
Look, even the lawyer is losing her patience with her, and I don't blame her, because literally right after that, the judge had to have a stern talking to and basically threaten her that if she don't tighten up, they're going to strike all of her testimony from the case.
Responsible for answering questions that are put to you. If you don't understand a question, you can say that, and I'm sure counsel will rephrase. If you can't hear a question, tell them that as well. But courtrooms function in, and especially trials, unfold in a question and answer format. This is not an opportunity for you to interject your own narrative and evade responding to questions the court deems appropriate. And if you continue to do so, your entire testimony may be stricken. Am I clear?
Yes.
Yeah, the judge had to straighten her out because instead of answering the questions yes or no, she would give like an explanation, even about the $5.5 million that she demanded 3 weeks prior. She started going on like this tangent about how Steph offered her $100,000 to recant her statement.
When
Allegedly.
She came
Now, the reason why he will offer her that is because he's probably paid a lot more in legal fees, but she is literally about to get cooked by every person she hung out with after the alleged assault.
when she came downstairs, was there anybody else downstairs?
No, just me and her.
And what did she tell you when she came downstairs?
She asked me if he was annoyed.
She asked you if
He seemed, yeah, if he was annoyed.
and that's Mr. Diggs?
Yeah.
Did she tell you she was going to do anything?
Yeah, she was trying to antagonize him while she was on the couch, like trying to get beneath his skin, and she was
Sustained.
okay.
So let me ask you this way. Did she indicate when she came downstairs that she was going to do anything? Did she tell you she was going to take any action?
Yeah, she said she was gonna sue him
For what?
for the money that he owes her, and like she gonna take it to the blog. She gonna
Take it to the block?
blogs.
Got
Oh,
it.
she Jamaican. She Caribbean.
It was like an hour-long conversation, so it was a lot.
Hang on,
So.
ma'am.
Let me start with that.
Oh, sorry.
That's okay.
So, do you remember her saying that she was going to make him pay?
Yeah.
Yo, this seems like a coordinated attack, and it's even more to it, to the testimony
I'm going to
of
ask.
this person where they're like, hey, did when you saw her after she allegedly got strangled, did she have any bruises on her neck or face?
Did you actually see Miss Adams without clothes on as you were getting dressed?
With a towel on.
Okay.
Yeah.
Did you observe any bruising, redness on
No.
her neck or chest?
No.
Did you observe anything on her face?
No.
It didn't happen.
I'm going to ask Miss Silva if we can actually play the third. Did you actually see Miss?
Look, all the witnesses that came forward, all the video evidence that was shown, there was literally nothing on her to suggest that she had been attacked. Now, to make matters even worse, Stefon Diggs does have his chief of staff testify. And I get it. You know, the chief of staff, she works for Stefon. She'll probably say whatever he says, but let's hear what she has to say, because there's something very unique about what she says that Mila did after getting choked out and smacked.
When you spoke to her that afternoon in the kitchen, did you observe anything on her face?
No.
Anything on her neck?
No.
Did you see any redness or swelling?
No.
Was she crying at all?
No.
What was she doing?
She was walking around looking for a piece of a paper and a pen to write a card, I guess, write a note to him for his birthday gift.
When you say to him, is that to Mr. Diggs?
Correct.
And that's that November 29th birthday you just referenced?
Yes.
That afternoon, was there anything on Mr. Diggs' schedule?
He had ozone therapy and massage.
So is that a nurse who comes and does fluids?
Yes.
Now, imagine this, right? She is trying to convince everyone that she was assaulted by Stefon Diggs, but literally after she is looking for a piece of paper to write him a birthday card. Now, what's funny is she doesn't even stop there to write the birthday card. She takes it a step further, and you're not going to believe what she did for Stefon after making the birthday card.
Do you know if Miss Adams cooked dinner that night?
It was like a hot dog. It was like and there was like mustard on it, but it was like left on the counter and it was like dried up. And then in the room, it was like dried up. So there was like 2 that were made.
Let me back you up on that. Do you know if she did cook dinner that night?
She did.
Where did she do that?
In the kitchen.
And what time did you see that?
I just remember the food being like prepared
Okay.
already.
And you mentioned it was a hot dog or something like
Yeah,
that?
I was like a hot dog, or like, you know, like Auntie Anne's when they have like the pretzel dogs. It kind of looked like that, but it was kind of, it just looked dried up.
Do you know if
She's been getting paid, was it 2,000, 1,000 a week, 2,000 a week to make dried up hot dogs. So after she allegedly got attacked, she went downstairs, no bruises on her face. She looks for paper to make a card. After she makes the card for his birthday, she warms him up
as far back as I could go.
a dried up hot dog. And on top of that, remember she was talking about the money that she didn't get paid. Well, it turns out she was overpaid.
18 months, as far back as I could go. And then I went through every receipt and reimbursable that we paid her for the last 6 months at that time.
Sorry. And at the conclusion, would you describe that as a kind of an audit?
Yeah.
Okay.
If you receive an invoice and it's incorrect, I want to know, is it our mistake or was it her mistake? So I wanted to make sure that we had paid her correctly.
All right. And what did you learn from conducting your audit?
That she had submitted receipts multiple times over the course of 6 months, the same receipt. That she had submitted reimbursements for packages sent that were paid by our Federal Express account for reimbursement.
Oh, wow.
That we had overpaid her.
And were you able to quantify the amount of money that she had been overpaid based on your audit?
Yes.
And how much money was that?
I think the total was $2,500 and change.
All right. So basically what she was doing was submitting invoices to pay for postage, but his finance person like, look, we automatically pay for postage. Now, in the end, in the closing arguments, even the prosecution literally had a hard time defending her and literally opened up his statements, basically in a roundabout way, kind of discrediting her or just stating the obvious. You let me know.
So, was Miss Adams a perfect witness? No.
Nope.
She was argumentative, avoided, difficult.
Argumentative, avoidant, difficult, got caught in several lies. And I think the biggest thing right here is what Stefon Diggs, defense attorney, said about the slap where, remember she got slapped on the right side of her face with the right hand, an open hand at that. And that's impossible. If she would have said he backhanded her, more probable, but not an open hand.
one thing I will say about the assault and battery, she described Mr. Diggs slapping her on the right side of her face with his right hand. And she actually demonstrated it for you. But the problem is that's a physical impossibility. And the reason I would suggest to you that that demonstration didn't go quite well is because sometimes people miss their mark. Sometimes actors forget the script.
Yeah, she probably should have said right hand, left side of the face. Now, in the end, Stefon Diggs,
Madam Forelady.
He did get the not guilty verdict, which I think Ray Charles could see that he was, not guilty. And, it was a very emotional moment. For the first time in his life, he probably felt powerless. His fate was in the hand of 12 jurors as he was being false allegated by his longtime side chick of what she said was 4 years.
Madam Forelady, has your jury agreed upon a verdict?
Yes.
On count 1, strangulation or suffocation, what is your verdict? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
On count 2, the charge of assault and battery, what is your verdict? Guilty or not guilty?
Not guilty.
Madam Forelady, members of the jury, hearken to your verdict as the court has recorded it. Upon your oath, you say that the defendant is not guilty of the count of strangulation or suffocation and not guilty of the count of assault and battery. So say you, Madam Forelady?
Yes.
So say all members of the jury?
Yes.
All right, thank you. Jurors, please be seated.
Bro, my man teared up, man. He teared up. His life was in their hands, but he had a rock solid defense. The truth will always defeat blatant lies, but hopefully he learned a valuable lesson, stop banging the help, and maybe get some NDAs. I don't know, man. He is literally every woman on payroll. He's probably banged or wanted to bang, or at some point, he need a little bit more dick discipline. But let me know what you think of her. Should there be some recourse for her basically trying to hose him down for $5.5 million, putting his freedom at risk, and literally no consequence for her whatsoever? Let me know in the comments section. Make sure you like, hype, and I'll see you next video. Peace.